Be ready to don your favorite archaeologist's fedora and get a hold of your trusty whip. This adventure is not one to be missed. Although it's not set in Egypt or Mexico or some other exotic location, it still has the spirit of Indiana Jones, stamped all over the exciting puzzles, the spellbinding atmosphere, and the forgotten library/warehouse setting. As can be seen on the poster for the live escape room, the Lost Treasure itself is a golden cup-shaped artifact which should be very familiar to all fans of Indiana Jones. The setup to the Lost Treasure is quite simple. You start right outside an excavation site in modern-day Berlin. Apparently, the drain pipes beneath the university need to be fixed, and now the maintenance workers have stumbled upon a mysterious room which has been sealed off from the university many years ago. So, now they've called you, a special team of archaeologists, and your job is to find out what's going on inside the room, what terrible secrets does it hold, and why was it sealed off in the first place. It doesn't just sound like an Indiana Jones film, it feels like an Indiana Jones film too, in every single aspect. That's where the Lost Treasure truly excels. The sense of adventure in the Lost Treasure actually starts before you stand in the room itself. You have to snake your way through an almost labyrinthine corridor, which is pitch black. The darkness truly envelops you, preparing you both physically and mentally for a real adventure. And then you suddenly stand in the most beautifully designed room with dark wooden panels and bookshelves along its walls. The different shelves are filled with all kinds of dust-covered items such as religious books, antique knickknacks and stuffed animals. The crowded shelves make you feel like you have truly come across important valuables that need to be examined carefully. The low-key lighting supports the feel that you stand in the middle of ancient treasures in a secret and all-forgotten cave. It's truly marvelous. During your playtime, you will come across narrow passageways, so be sure to bring non-claustrophobic team members along. In all honesty, the narrow corridors and trapdoors will make participation difficult for the bees, but that's another story. The room itself has been designed to separate you as a team, so you need to actually collaborate on some of the creative puzzles via walkie-talkie. That's brilliant, and it underlines the playfulness of the game. You're also equipped with a flashlight which is triggered by sensors strategically placed around the room to make sure that the light comes on at just the right time, in sync with a piece of music or another special effect, all with the intention of making your hairs stand on end, not out of sheer fright, but rather excitement and enjoyment. And once you start noticing the many references to the Indiana Jones films, you will be completely ecstatic. Indeed, there's a whip, there's a golden idol, there are skeletons, and, of course, there are several secret rooms. But no snakes, though. The puzzles you'll meet in this room are truly varied and will involve anything from balancing and directing crystal balls through a maze to weighing certain objects in order to find a code. The pictures on the walls are not just random set decorations either, and you will need many of them to complete your quest. At various points, you're also going to pay special attention to sounds, movements, and lighting effects. That's how creative the puzzles are. Furthermore, to solve several of the puzzles, you need to consult the items given to you at the introduction. All in all, the puzzles make the storyline feel coherent and complete. You're never just going to look for numerical codes scattered around the room. In other words, the puzzle's physicality and integration with the setting make you feel completely immersed in the Lost Treasure. Though the level of difficulty may vary a bit, the puzzles nearly always require you to move around the room and interact physically with the different objects you find along your way. Some of them are perhaps best described as mini-games, which are not impossible to solve, but just require a good deal of focus and concentration. It feels like a 60-minute theme park ride, and the best thing is that the flow in the puzzles and plotline is never halted. Through sounds and through beams of lighting, you are you're guided through your quest, making the Lost Treasure a truly well-designed gaming experience. As mentioned earlier, the introduction to the Lost Treasure takes place outside the room in front of the excavation site. Here you're presented with the setup and different items such as a briefcase of documents, a flashlight, the set of walkie-talkies, all of which will certainly come in handy on your journey. This introduction definitely sets the mood in your group, and once you enter the room, you feel you have become explorers, ready for a new adventure. Since we only needed a few hints during the course of the game, we hardly communicated with our game master. However, when we did need him, he was observant and the hints were easily delivered without handing out the answers. And that simply meant that we still felt like winners at the end of the Lost Treasure, even though we were served a couple of hints. One of the reasons why you may find you do not need as many hints from your game master is the voiceover you'll hear multiple times during the game. Indeed, the rumbling male voice underlined both the sense of adventure reading aloud from diary notes about the expedition, and by the by, also provided subtle hints at carefully selected points in the game. So, overall, the Lost Treasure scores absolute top marks all around. It's not just full of adventure and joyful inventiveness in its flow of puzzles. The room, or indeed rooms, are also beautifully designed and chock full of details, objects and decorations that you feel like you have walked directly into an Indiana Jones film. You instantly forget that outside is a real-life Berlin, and once the 60 minutes are over and your quest is complete, you will want to try it all one more time. It's that exciting. It's that great.